live. And we are going out to my good friend, Captain Daniel Hadawi on board the Island Spirit. Daniel, it sounds like you've just finished up a wonderful day. Tell us about it.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. We had a really nice day of fishing today for our Kids Fish Free Sunday. We got out with close to a full boat. I believe we had 47 anglers on board with 20 plus being kids. So we kept it relatively shallow and had really nice bottom fishing throughout our whole day. I think we ended up with 451 rockfish, 33 whitefish, and a handful of sculpins. So a little more than 10 around for everybody there, and pretty good bags of fish to take home today. And nice weather too. Bonus there.
Yeah, hey, we got to mention that because on Friday night it was blowing, and then you come to a day like today and it's absolutely gorgeous out on the water.
Yeah, we were bummed out. We had enough to go Friday and had to cancel because of the weather. Same thing on Saturday. We got enough to go there and had to cancel on everyone for the weather there. But today was absolutely beautiful. Bummer we didn't get that kind of weather earlier in the week, but weather does look nice going forward in the next weekend too. So we're excited to take you guys fishing whenever you'd like to come out next.
Hey, Daniel, you know it's a good trip when you're wondering to yourself, hey, am I going to get in too early because I got to give the guys time to clean all these fish?
I know I'm driving slow. I'm driving a little slow so that they have enough time. But yeah, they're doing great. My crew, they're all rock stars. They cut really nice and fast, and they can handle 40, 47, 48 bags in an hour and a half, no problem.
Wow, that's good stuff, man. That's fast. Let me tell you. Hey, on a human interest level, you're seeing all these kids come out on Kids Fish Free on Sunday. What are you seeing as their reaction? Especially, I'm interested in the ones that like this is their first trip. What kind of response are you getting?
Yeah, it's more positive than not. You know, there are some kids that just want to come on the boat and eat candy and run around and play, but for the most part, once they get a taste of catching a couple fish, they get really really into it, and it's hard to get them to stop fishing. You got to remind the kids every time we want to move spots that, come on, guys, we got to wind it up. I know you want to fish, but we'll get you on some fresh fish. So they, as soon as they get a taste of it, they really start to enjoy it and want to come out more and more. We always hear them bugging their parents if they can bring next week when they're coming off the boat there.
That is so awesome, man. I know a bunch of kids like that. Michael Limon is a kid that has glommed on to us with his grandpa. And man, the only thing he wants to do is fish. And I've got to tell you, that in today's society is something that's not only fun to do, but it's a positive thing to be out in the great outdoors. And, hey, you catch a fish, maybe it spurs a kid to ask, what is that fish? How long does it live? How big do they get? I mean, it kind of opens other doors, I feel like, for kids also.
Yeah, 100%. It's a really nice hobby for kids to get into. Beats sitting inside and playing video games, stuff like that. It's nice to get out on the water, and it's a good way to spend your time, spend time with your kids, parents, siblings, all that good stuff. So that's something I had the pleasure of doing when I was growing up, and it's fun to take other kids to do it now too.
Yeah, man, I'm with you. Hey, why don't you tell everybody we've got a whole new special here in May on board the Island Spirit and the Californian. What is the new special we've got going on? Uh-oh, Daniel froze up on me. Daniel? Daniel? He'll re-add here in a second. I'll tell you what the new special is, everybody, while we wait for Daniel to re-add, if he's able to do it. If not, then you're stuck with me for a little while. And good Sunday afternoon. Hit that like button if you don't mind. Deeply appreciate that. I'll be back with the morning briefing in the morning tomorrow. Looking forward to bringing you that. And of course, we are starting to move up toward 13,000 subscribers. And I can't thank you enough for that. All right, here it is. If you go on the Californian or the Island Spirit in the month of May, you buy a full fare ticket, your buddy goes for half price. So buy a full fare ticket, and the other one is half price. It's weekdays only, and it's on the Island Spirit as well as the Californian. And I think Daniel's just jumped off for a second. He'll be back in a second. Calico Chris is with us. Chris, It's always good to see you, my friend. He's going to be joining us on a couple of trips we have coming up. And remember, we do have a lot of Friedman Adventures trips in the very near future. We have a couple on the El Patron, one on the 9th of May, one on the 23rd of May. And then we are on this boat, the Island Spirit, on May the 31st. And you can get all the information you need by sending yours truly a text. I would love to see you on one of those trips. My number is, and I'm going to repeat it twice so you can run and get a paper and pencil, 657 227 6459. I'm sure that Captain Daniel is just going through a rough patch right now. It'll give me an opportunity to kind of get you up to date on some other things that are going on. And then if he's able to rejoin us, we'll have him on in just 1 second. However, there was some bluefin tuna taken last night fast. The first significant score in several weeks, 61 bluefin tuna on board the Shogun, and also 35 fish on board the Polaris Supreme. Last time I talked to those guys, there wasn't a lot of daytime fish being caught. And we do see this fish get caught up in that nighttime only kind of bite. This will be a significant night, and a night probably when I don't get a lot of sleep, because I'll be up tonight talking to the Independence, who's en route, talking to the Royal Star en route to that area, as well as several other boats who are there. Shogun is there, Polaris Supreme is there. I believe, I'm not sure about their schedule. They may be headed in, being that it's Sunday, but there are boats headed to that area. And I say it's an important night because we're going to get a little more coverage on this zone, and we'll see if indeed it does want to bite. And hopefully it's going to do just that. So I'll be watching that bluefin situation. Also, we're seeing some progression with regard to the yellowtail bite. I know that the San Diego out of Sea Forest Sport Fishing all-day boat leaves in the early morning hours, returns in the evening. He had 10 yellowtail on his very first hit of the day. So a nice hit for them. And then we've seen some other guys. I think Mark Paisano Jr. on the Amigo, probably San Clemente Island, but I'm guessing, I'm not exactly sure, somewhere up this way. I think he had 5 or 6 yellowtail. We've seen some yellows taken in Ensenada here this morning. So there is definitely something going on. I think the Liberty, it might have been, had 6 yellowtail, something like that. So springtime fishing is really trying to take hold here right now as we continue to watch this weather improve. And this month, April, is a month when you do get a lot of windy weather. So you'll take a step forward and then one backwards. And that is how it goes in this month. And we'll see how things lay out. I'm sure we're going to get some windy scenarios, but the fact that it has been so resilient and bounced back so quickly really is fantastic in terms of what I am seeing here today. And also, you look at the New Del Mar last night, they had some really good nighttime twilight sand and calico bass fishing. Earl McVicker was out there. So there's been some pretty darn good fishing going on. Hey, I think we might have lost Daniel for good. And I'm sorry to say that. I will tell you, and I'm speaking for him now, but 6 to 16 ounce torpedo sinkers seem to be best of all. You never know how deep you're going to fish. When he had 50 people today and all the kids, and they had 500 fish or something like that. But with all those people on board, you're going to fish a little bit shallower and get the job done. And they did a great job. And I asked Daniel about kids and what the reaction was to this whole thing. And man, I got to tell you, that means so much to me to hear from him that kids are falling in love with it. Now, also, while we're on the subject of Ventura sport fishing, I believe the Endeavor had some halibut. I don't know if he had any sea bass today. Of course, we'll special update you here on our shorts, on our Facebook page, on our Instagram page, as well as our TikTok page. We will let you know about that. But in the meantime, the Endeavor had some halibut today. The Californian was experiencing outstanding rock fishing here again today. Really, really great rock fishing for them. So we've seen fabulous fishing, and their chef on board, Joey, has been sending me tons of photos. Nice big links, big giant vermilions. Cody Rogers on board the Californian, which is the old Matt Walsh, everybody. Many of you fish the Matt Walsh out of LA Harbor Sport Fishing. In fact, that boat's been in several different places through its long and storied career, and now it finds itself there at Ventura. She is looking beautiful. She is in great shape. They've got that May special discount, the full fare. One guy buys the full fare, the next guy goes for 50% off. You can't beat that. And don't forget, kids fish free on Sundays on the Island Spirit. That's what made today such an awesome day. Looks like, who is that? Easton? Yeah, he's saying hello. Good to have you here with us with Calico Chris. So, folks, I think Daniel's gone. I don't know what happened to him, but he had a tremendous day today. Gorgeous weather on board the Island Spirit. Fantastic fishing as they had up there around 500 fish on board the Island Spirit. Everybody going home with a full sack of gorgeous, delicious eating fillets and kids with smiles. And there's going to be a lot of kids who are going to have sleepless nights now waiting for their next fishing trip, because I can remember I couldn't get to sleep the night before a fishing trip when I was a kid. I just kept dreaming about being on the boat and being on the water and the stuff that you might encounter and see on a trip and the giant fish that you might catch. And even when you went out and caught nothing, it was still really a wonderful time. All right, my friends, Ventura Sport Fishing, 805 676 3474 or venturasportfishing.com. You can book your next trip there, and I know they would love to see you. Make sure you say hi to Daniel or Cody Rogers or, of course, Tucker McCombs on board the one and only Endeavor. They have some really great fishing and some wonderful customer service. Hey, while I'm thinking about it, make sure you say hi to Saul up there in the ticket office. Couldn't find a harder working great guy than Saul up there in the office. All right. I think I've stalled long enough. I don't see Daniel. And let's see, are we getting any Jonathan Jones? Am 72. Nothing changes. Jonathan Jones, you're up there, man. You got me beat if you're 72 by a couple of years. We'll continue to watch it for you very, very closely here. Of course, I'll be monitoring the bluefin breaking news for you here into the evening, and I will especially be paying keen attention when the sun sets and to see if we can get another evening bite. Close to 100 fish caught between the Polaris Supreme and the other guy who was out there, the Shogun. So that is very interesting. Patrick Harnjack and Sarah Harnjack are in Montana. And Patrick, it's great to see you. You're going to be out next week for 3 days. I'm wishing you the very, very best. Jack Sepulveda is a fantastic guy who loves eels, little baby eels that he gave me in a can. Jack, it's great to see you. If you're joining us now, we had Captain Daniel Hadawi on here with us, but we have lost him for some reason. I'm just assuming maybe he's going through a patch of water where he lost connectivity with us. And I was hoping that he'd re-add, but so far I haven't seen him. Cue Ball is saying hi. Hey, it's great to see you. Once again, hit that like button, you guys. I really appreciate it when you do that. Tomorrow is Monday, right? So I haven't talked to Sam De La Torre yet, but I need to do so to find out if we're going to be doing Tackle Shop Confessions tomorrow night or Tuesday night, or when we kind of do this around Sam's kids' Little League practice and games, because there's really nothing more important than dad being at those events, and we wouldn't want to get in the way of that. Patrick Harnjack says he's getting on a flight in the morning. Can't wait to get to San Diego. Man, it has gone for Patrick, ladies and gentlemen, it's gone from, man, what are we going to do? Fish for rockfish, and that's about it, to, whoa, I got to watch my processing bill. Now we're going to catch so much bluefin tuna. And I know I'm jumping the gun here a little bit. I like to be optimistic for sure and be positive, but I'm also a realist because that's my job here for all of you to be real about it. So we got a good night on the bluefin tuna. We'll see if we can't report it. And once again, the real reason for this update is to talk about the Island Spirit and their nearly 500 fish, or maybe they had 500. I forget the exact score, but they had a tremendous day with 20 kids on the boat. So that is also very, very special. Andrew said, just book a 3 day or he just booked a 3 day on the Islander. He'll be tuning in to Tackle Shop Confessions with questions. Andrew, I look forward to a cue ball. Where did they find the bluefin today? Range. I'm going to call that day and a half range for sure. It's in day and a half range. So like 100 miles, 120 is more like it. So that's where they are. We'll see if there's more to it. You know, maybe this fish is just starting to float. Maybe it's just starting to get going right now, and it might get going in several different venues. We're not sure right now. I'm sure when the spotter plane gets up, he'll give us a better idea of what's going on. And as I said, there are several boats en route, so we should have a much better idea. Patrick Harnjack said, not to mention, had to switch boats twice. Two boats canceled for tomorrow, and Cue Ball is saying cool. So not about Patrick's dilemma, of course. He's talking about where that fish is. So a lot of good stuff. Once again, tremendous, beautiful weather in the Channel Islands today. Friday, too rough to fish. The Island Spirit had to throw the towel in. Saturday, they threw the towel in again, and they have plenty of people to go. So it's heartbreaking for everybody. And then all of a sudden, they get a gorgeous weather day today, and it was beautiful. I'll tell you that right now. And they cranked them, man. They had a great day. Kids fish free on board the Island Spirit on Sundays, and they had 20 kids. I got to tell you, Captain Daniel Hadawi, one of his biggest problems right now is, man, am I going to get in too early to not allow the guys to clean all these fish? We got to get these fish clean for our customers. So he's pulled back on the throttles, and he's going nice and slow right now. Cue Ball says, finally sticking his head up. It's that time, Big Papa. Yeah, it is, man. And those bluefin are starting to pop their nose up, and hopefully we're going to see even more of it as we go along. It's really a good time. We're seeing that springtime kind of feel, or having that really fast. You know, sometimes you get a lot of wind like we just went through, and it lingers for a couple days. The bad conditions, the water temperature drops, the water gets mucked up, surface fish don't really bite that well, but boom, right after that wind stop, yellowtail in Ensenada, yellowtail at the Coronado Islands, yellowtail on board the Amigo today, tremendous rock fishing on board the Californian and on board the Island Spirit, and several other guys experiencing that also. Some bass on board the new Delmar, and yellows at I think I said Coronado Islands. I hope I did. So there's a lot of fish around right now, and it is starting to look really, really like spring. We'll probably get some wind again, and it may knock us backwards, but we'll see how we go. Cue Ball, if you have ever had a nasty weather day out of Ventura, you'd be glad not to take another beating like that. Ventura can get really nasty. I took one for 5 days on board the Independence Cue Ball out of San Diego. I mean, we had some pretty nasty weather. That was the boat to be on to do it, however, man. I mean, we really, Philip and I were talking. We went to San Diego together today, my oldest son, Philip, and we went down to Sportsman Seafood to pick up 100 pounds of yellowfin tuna and wahoo that somebody so kindly handed me when I was filming the Royal Polaris. A couple of gentlemen, and while I don't have your names in front of me, in case you happen to watch this, thank you so very much for your kindness and generosity. Anyway, we went down there today, and that was a lot of fun. And boy, we were talking about how sturdy the Independence is, how great her crew is. It was really, really, really a lot of fun. All right. I think Daniel's gone, everybody. One more time, 805-676-3474. You can get on board the Island Spirit or on board the Californian, and you have the entire month to get that discount. I don't have the discount code in front of me. So if you're going to do this online, you probably want to check with the office first. Tell them that Friedman Adventures asked you to get the code that you can use at checkout, and then you'll book one passage for full pay, and the next one will be 50% off weekdays on board the Californian and on board the Island Spirit. I'm telling you, I fished the Island Spirit this year. You're not going to find a better crew. Maybe over there on the Californian, those guys are great also. But Ventura Sportfishing has just elevated customer service to a high, high, high level, and I think you would enjoy it a lot. Isaac, good afternoon. Late to the party. I've been talking to Isaac today. He's been keeping me on the straight and narrow, sending me some text when fishing is going well, and I really appreciate it. Isaac, good to see you here. All right. So once again, get that code, call Saul or whoever is working in the office, 805-676-3474, and get on board the Island Spirit or the Californian. I know you're going to have a good time. And remember, right here on Friedman Adventures, we'll be keeping you up to date with all the very latest as the day goes on. Bluefin tuna tonight should be very, very interesting as the Shogun had 65 bluefin tuna, while the Polaris Supreme had 35 bluefin tuna. We'll see how much is there as some other boats get on top of it, and we'll see if it wants to bite again or if this is another flash in the pan. We are hopeful that it is not the latter. Take care, my friends. Thanks for joining us. For Daniel Hadawi, who was here for a little bit with us, I would send you all my very, very best. Remind you that I'll be back on the morning briefing. It's really important to tick the bell when you subscribe to Friedman Adventures, because that's how you get notified when there's new content. So if something's biting at 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe you don't want to be alerted at 2 o'clock in the morning, but I will be putting it out as soon as I hear about it and sending you the updates so you can stay in touch with the very latest. Really appreciate you all. Get on up there to Ventura Sportfishing, 805-676-3474. And I hope to see you all tomorrow morning on the morning briefing, or someone else or somewhere else really, really soon. Take care, my friends. Always great to spend time with you.